Have you realized that you are not only in a group in this class, but you are actually in a group almost all day, every day, whether it's within your own family or as an employee at your company or even with your group of friends? I mean, let's think back to a few years ago, maybe several years ago, when you and your group of friends got yourselves into a predicament you needed to get out of. Maybe you had a party at somebody's house and needed to get the mess cleaned up so you didn't get caught. Or maybe you took your parents' car out, joy riding, and needed to get that taken care of so you didn't get caught. Either way, there was a group problem solving that needed to take place. Somebody had to take on the leadership role. Somebody had to assign different roles to different people, and there were diversities to take into consideration when assigning those roles. Maybe somebody was better at task A and another person was better at task B. Or maybe one person in the group said, hey, my mom has a steam cleaner. Let me grab that so we can clean these carpets. Or maybe somebody said, my dad has an air compressor. Let me go grab that so we can pump up this tire that went flat when we took the car. Either way, all of those factors came into play, and there was no time for conflict. If a conflict arose and you couldn't solve it or come together as a group, then you got caught, and that's something you didn't want to do. There was no time for that. All of these factors come into play, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So Kelly is going to start with talking about group problem solving and share some of Gary Hadler's research and what that says about the disadvantages and advantages that come into play when trying to problem solve as a group. And then Jennifer's going to talk about that leadership role and how the different characteristics of a leadership role can either positively or negatively affect the group's outcome. Kristen is going to talk about the different roles that each group member plays within the group and how those roles need to be managed to achieve the ultimate goal. And then I will share with you some of Scott Horowitz's research on diversities and the different types of diversities that can be brought to the table and how that can either positively or negatively affect a group as well. Finally, Denise is going to share with us the 5 different strategies that are most commonly used by group members when approaching group conflict, and how those different strategies can either, again, positively or negatively affect the group. Overall, there are many things to take into consideration, but I'll let Kelly start with talking some of the information she's found out about group problem solving.